Hi everybody, it's Di here from Diane, and today this is the card we're going to make. I call it a double flat card, a flat front card, whatever, something like that. Let me have a look on my piece of paper, my cheat sheet. Flat front card. So this is what we're going to make, but we're going to use the Bonza Buddy bundle for this card this week. So this card has a flap on the front. Now, not this one I did with Velcro, but I didn't like the Velcro. And I don't like the way it just sits there without anything on it, so that's why I actually put the Velcro on there. And this one I actually did with a magnet, which I absolutely love, the way it flaps down like that. So this is using the Poppy bundle, so we are going to make one using the Bonza Buddy bundle, which is this stamp set here. And we're going to do the koala, being we're in Australia. And I'm also going to be using the nested stitch dies, label dies, and we're going to be using the largest one and the second one down in those. We are going to use the Bonza Buddy koala die as well, and we're going to be using the Happy Birthday and Let's Celebrate You out of this set. And we're only going to use Memento and Smoky Slate today as well. So please bear with me today. I'm in a different position, as you can see. I've changed my room around, so I'm now using a different table, so we're going to see how this works, and all my other things are in a different room. So hopefully I'm going to get through this without having to stop in the middle and show you what, and go and find what I need. Okay, so for this card we're going to need a card base that measures 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. We're going to need a coloured layer, and I'm using Bermuda Bay, and this measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, along with a white layer that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. We're also going to use 2 pieces of designer series paper. Now, if you're using designer series paper like I did on this one, please make sure that you get your pattern up the correct way, otherwise it's going to look a bit strange. And these measure 3 5/8 by 2 7/8, and you need 2 of those. You're going to need another piece of Bermuda Bay in this case for the insert, which measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, along with another white piece, that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. We're going to need for our labels on the front, and I'm using the Bermuda Bay again, a piece that measures 5 inches by 3 inches, which I've already cut out. As you know, I don't bring my big shot into the picture, it's too heavy for me to lift. And another piece that measures 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 in the white, and that's the second size down. You're going to stamp and cut out 3 koalas. So my piece of card here was 3 1/2 by 3 1/4, so 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. So this piece is different shape, but we'll go through that anyway when we do them. And that is all we need. We need some glue dots, and a magnet. Now I have a very, very tiny little magnet here, which is all that you need. If you don't want to use this, this is optional, so it's up to you whether you put it in or you don't. So let's start our card. As I said, we're using the Bonza Buddies, and we're going to start by, we're going to do our bit of scoring first, which is only these 3 pieces. So let's pop them out the way for a second and bring my scoreboard in. I don't know how wobbly this table is going to be, so please bear with me today. So we're going to score this on the long side at 5 7/8. So that's that piece scored, and these 2 pieces we're going to score them at 1 inch on the long side, on the short side, sorry, on the short side at the 1 inch mark. Now, making sure that the 1 inch, if you're using designer paper, that at one time the score line is at the bottom of not design paper, directional paper, that one time the score line is at the bottom of the picture or designer paper, and the other time it's at the top of it. So if you've got flowers here, you're going to need one that is with the stems and the other one that has the stems showing, and I can't think what that's called, score line is at the top. So when they're like this, so if this was one piece of paper, let's just say, and the picture was through the middle, the direction is one this way, you need one with a score line at the bottom and one with a score line at the top. I hope that makes sense to you. It does to me, but doesn't mean it does to everybody else. Okay, so while we've done that, whoops, no, I haven't dropped anything. I'm going to now fold and burnish my main piece of card, which looks like it's got a bit of a crease in it there, but never mind. It's going to be okay because we're going to cover that up. So with our other pieces of these, what we're going to do, we'll prepare these first. So we're going to fold our designer paper at the score line on both of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over on the wrong side, and we're going to measure with our ruler, trusty ruler, or if you want to use your paper you can, and we're going to measure along here to 1 13/16. So 1 1/2 is 1 8/16, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So once we've done that, we're going to do that on the top of the other one, which is the end opposite the oh my goodness, opposite the score line. I'm having a real fluster here today. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold from that score line, from that mark, down to form like an arrow. And we're going to try and make them as even as possible. So that's, now the pieces look like that. And we're going to do the same again. So at this 1 13/16, we're going to fold that in and bring it down and burnish it off. And we're going to do the same on the other side of it, so that it makes a really lovely piece. Now, if we've got directional and we are going to put our magnets in, we need to make sure that we put the magnet on the bottom one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up again, and I'm going to use a glue dot, and I'm going to put my magnet on my glue dot. So, whoops, oh, it didn't stick. And I'm going to pop him just inside like so. So you can see him like that. And then we'll pop the top one off. I'll pop it on the side. And we're going to now glue these flaps down straight. Only these triangle squares. Triangle squares. That really makes a lot of good sense, doesn't it? So only the triangles. Going to glue those down, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other one, just making sure that we remember which one is the top one and which one is the bottom one if we're not using directional paper. Okay, so that's good. We know, if I leave that one upside down, I'll know that that one's the one that has got the magnet in it. So we're going to get our two top layers, which are exactly the same as our two insert layers, and we'll pop the purple one, the coloured one on one side, and we're going to pop this one on the bottom, and we're going to glue that onto the bottom so that it butts up against there and folds up like so. So we'll pop some glue on there. And if we pop it in like so up to the fold line and then fold it over, you'll know that you've got your fold line in the right place. Now I'm going to pop my magnet on the back so I know where it is. Okay, so we won't worry about putting a glue dot on there until we're ready to do the rest, but we know that that one's in place. And we're going to do exactly the same again. So we're going to put some glue on our other flap, and once again we're going to butt it up. If you hold this up in like so and butt that up against it so that it folds over nicely, it's there. Now we'll pop a glue dot on the back of this one. Oops. And pop that back on there. So my glue dot's not in the very good spot. Let's pop my glue dot back onto there. There we go. And now we're going to then put some glue onto this and glue it into place over the top of our coloured piece. I'm actually going to trim this first because this has got a little bit of overhang and I don't like that overhang, so let's trim that piece off there and there. There we go. Oh, some on the other side as well. It should be the same size, but obviously you can always cut a little bit wrong, so making sure this fits in here beautifully, like so. And my flap now is going to flap down. How gorgeous is that? I don't like it flapping in the wind, and that's just me, I know. So we will now glue this to the front of our card. Now if you are going to stamp directly onto your white piece here, I would suggest you do that before you stick it. But in my case I'm not, so I didn't worry about it. And as you can see, that flaps down really nicely, like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp my 3 koalas, and I'm going to stamp them and show you and cut them out. But as I've already done that, we'll still go through it. So we'll pop our card on one side, and we're going to, using our smoky slate and our koala body, we're going to stamp him 3 times. And I think he's absolutely gorgeous, and he cuts out really lovely. So I'm sure my mum's going to enjoy having a few koalas this week. And she'll be up later today, so we have 3 koalas there with no eyes or nose or mouth. So, and they come separately, so we've got them on another block here. This looks a bit wonky, but and we're going to use the memento to pop them in. Now this hopefully will be nice and there we go. I'm hoping you can see. I can't. I'm over the top of these a little bit, I think. There we go. There is our 3 koalas. They actually stamp over each other really, really well. And using our die from the die set, which is this one here, oh, come out, they actually cut out really beautifully, which I've already done, as you can see. But I've got 3 more to cut out to give to Mum when she arrives a bit later today. So let's pop them on one side, and voila, we have them cut out here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my 2 nested labels and pop that on the other side. And we are going to put, excuse me, I've got a bit of glue on my finger. We're going to put our happy birthday on the top of this. So we're going to use our memento again. And I'm going to stamp happy birthday at the top here. And that looks absolutely fabulous. I absolutely love that. It's so, I don't know, it's so just really lovely. And I'm going to then put my two of my koalas on the front like so. So I'm going to use some dimensions for those. So I'm going to use 2 large ones, 1 on each, and the mini ones, 1 in each ear area. There we go. And before I actually glue them onto that, I'm going to glue this onto here, but I'm actually going to put that on with dimensions as well to give a bit more, what do you call it? A bit more height to the, I just like things that have a bit of height in them. So let's pop them on there. And I remembered my rubbish bin, so that was one good thing. And pop that onto there. And now we're going to pop that onto the front of our card. So we're going to put that onto the front of the card like so. So we only need a bit of glue in this little bit section here underneath that. So we need to put a bit of glue virtually across on a triangle like so. And making sure that that's the top of the card, not the bottom. Pop that onto the front, and we want to make sure it's nice and even in the middle and straight, so that when he stands up, see how what I mean? If you don't have that, this piece is going to flap down and this bit's going to flap up, and it's just not going to look right, or it doesn't to me anyway. So now I'm going to put my 2 koalas on the front. I don't know why I did that. It's not like they're any different than each other. They're both exactly the same. And I'm going to put one down here and the other one, oops, up here. And then I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to pop my other one in here, and I'm going to actually, because I've got a little bit of room, I'm going to actually stamp the hat and cut it out by hand. So, no I'm not, because I haven't got any colours here with me. But I will just put the Let's Celebrate with him underneath there. So let's put him on a dimension as well. I have Let's Celebrate for inside, but let's put Let's Celebrate underneath the flap at the same time. So he's going to sit just there, and Let's Celebrate is going to sit underneath that as well, which is going to sit right above him like so. And that's the front of our card done. Oops. So let's work on the inside. So we're going to put Let's Celebrate again right through the middle here, and that's all our stamping with that done. And oops, there goes my phone. And I'm going to put a couple of koalas on here, so, but I'm going to put them, oh gosh, I've got black on my fingers, so I'm going to turn this over and do this again. I actually inked my black memento up yesterday, and I think I've got just a little bit too much ink on it. So let's celebrate once more, in the centre. Right, I can see the ink there. And now I'm going to just use a bit of scrap here because I'm going to stamp my koala off the bottom here and off the side here. And we'll pop his face on with some black without trying to get some more all over the place. There we go, let's pop the lid on that before it gets all leaky. And I'll have to remember to give that a bit of a clean before we do our class tomorrow. And I will then glue this to the inside piece. So never waste your paper. If you make a mistake like I did and get blurb all over it, turn it over. Wipe your fingers on your pants and then turn it over. Okay, so this is our insert all done, and he's going on the inside of the card. So let's put my lid on my glue because I've just filled it up, so I don't want that all going everywhere as well. And put the insert onto the inside of the card, making sure it's nice and neat, and down. And that's our card. As you can see, it does sit, that's why it flaps there, but with the other flap it would flap out like this as well, and it looks horrible to me. So that's our card. I have a blurb there, and I'm going to put a diamante. I haven't got any here, but I'll put a little diamante or pearl or something up there, and a couple of others on there as well. So that's our card for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's card, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm not really with it today. It's just, this is strange not having everything around me like I normally do. And as I say, I've changed my craft room to another room, so now where I'm doing my videotaping is where I used to, but on a different table, and everything is in a different room now, so it's really quite weird. Okay, oh sorry, that one's upside down. Okay, so that's our card for this week. I hope you've enjoyed that. All of these items here are in the mini catalogue, and if you would like to purchase from me, please give me a call, email or PM so that I can help you. Or if you prefer to shop online, just go to the Stampin' Up website, and when you place your order, please put my name in the spot provided for the demonstrator. You will find that at the bottom of the screen, and my name is Diane Furness. So, and if that's only if you live in Australia, I can't help you if you live anywhere else in the world, unfortunately, but I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there that would love to help you, if so. I know of a few, so if you don't have a demonstrator and you don't know of anybody else, please PM me and I will give you the name of somebody in America or somebody in the UK that can help you. So that's it for today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now.